Everyone? Welcome back. Oh man. That's not gonna go there. This water bottle, I don't know why that's there. Well, so today's short stream. I've got hello. Which one? Because there's a couple of them that are new, but in particular, this power bracket here. I just got it set up against this OV25 here to kind of get it out of the way. And I've got this, my radio wave, put together with the new shade on it. I just have this shirt over top of it to protect the porcelain. Right now it's got a Philips Canada. Well, I guess they're all pretty big. Philips Canada 75 watt incandescent bulb. Yeah, that's a big light. But the 75 watt incandescent bulb represents about the right lumen rating for a street light bulb. Actually, it's even probably a little bit brighter than the street lights would have been. But I just keep this shirt over it to keep, like, if something happens, I don't want anything else to get scratched up on this. So if I'm not doing anything with it, I'll just put that over it, and just in case, because this was expensive. But overall, the porcelain is in very nice condition. So all of these fixtures here have not changed. However, here's something interesting. I actually did this a while ago, but I'm going to show you now. I got this radio wave, which I got earlier this year. I have it wired up now so that I can actually use it. And right now there's a Philips bulb in there because I really like the way that looks. But now this is this Jocelyn fixture. I might do a video on this. I don't know. I probably will, but I got it wired up now so I can put bulbs in it. And if you're wondering how I know, it's a Jocelyn. I don't know how else to come up on the video, but on the top. What do you mean? It says Jocelyn on the top there. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it. But also, as far as the mini lights go, I don't really have anything in development right now, or I've in the process. I would like to do a little power bracket, but I just haven't taken the time to do that. That'd be an interesting thing. Maybe I can do that, but if I were to make a model, I would have to not include like things like the spring latches here. These are too complicated, and at a smaller scale they would just simply not work. So I'd have to do something where the reflector probably would have to be glued on permanently, which would be kind of unfortunate. But with these sorts of things, that's when you're scaling them down, you have to make compromises, and that's one of them. But anyway, going on the back of this one, you might be able to make out, it says Jocelyn on the socket. I guess I can go ahead and turn one of these on. I had my very first light fixture that I had was one of those Lithonia lighting metal halide things, and I actually think I still have the ballast for it. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's just chilling back there. I got rid of the fixture though. Actually, I think I might still have the lens somewhere. I think I used the lens on one of my NEMA fixtures, but that was the worst one I've had. And then something kind of similar in quality. It's a little bit better, but not much, is this little Regent bucket light, but I actually like this one quite a bit because it's super small. This is ridiculously how small that is. You can see how that compares to like the Gumball. It's absolutely tiny, and yeah, it's messy, but oh well. The little M400 is still there. That's the first miniature I made, and it kind of stinks, but it's not too bad, I guess. So I've got this radio wave, and I got this other one I thought was the line material as well. This is, I believe, is another Jocelyn made line material. No, Jocelyn made radio wave. So that one, I might do a video. If I do, I might do it on both of these together. And this is a little Satco vintage style bulb, and I was using that in these fixtures. It's not very bright. It's probably, I don't know, like 600 or so lumens, maybe even less. But it looks cool. It's the right shape for the incandescent streetlight bulbs, and it's rather pleasing. It's the nice warmer color because the bulb is not running nearly as hot. So anyway, this really wasn't my purpose of the stream. Wasn't really to look at this other stuff. Although it's cool, I do plan on doing individual videos on these things. In fact, I can even plug this in. Hopefully it doesn't. There we go. I really love this light. This might be my favorite fixture in the collection. I'm not completely certain, but it's up there. And with that new reflector, it looks amazing. Picked up this little floodlight here. Nothing particularly special. It's just a little GE. I think it's a Wattmiser. Yeah, GE Wattmiser. Yeah, nothing really to look at there, but it's incandescent at least, so that's cool. Or halogen, whatever it is. I don't know exactly what it is. It's incandescent. I don't know, but it's not an LED, so that's cool. Anyway, so what I've got else here, and this is really the reason for me making this stream here, is I've actually just yesterday found something that I wasn't planning on. I made a miniature of this fixture, and that video you can find on the channel. This one has that little, the little one, and that one, I should probably pull that back out and do a side-by-side, but that's the one that I made a miniature of, a proper miniature that was at least somewhat detailed and looked good. Anyway, so here's, I got something interesting yesterday that I wasn't really planning on purchasing or really even thought of. Generally, I've been sticking to the lights and the fans, but now I've got something else here. It's kind of a fan, but not exactly. This right here, oh, it fell over, is a rebranded Federal Sign and Signal A, and I believe it's dated 1967. This is my first actual siren in the collection, and it was sold under some other brand. I can't remember the name. It was, I believe it was Faraday. So they didn't necessarily make this. they just pretty much bought this and then stuck their name on it and sold it. So that's pretty cool. No, this is the first real one that I've had. I haven't really collected sirens. I've had one of those little MS-190s many years ago. That was well before I started this channel, and I had already gotten rid of it by then. And then I had one of those little bicycle sirens, and that broke, unfortunately. So I currently don't have any sirens other than this one. So I don't really plan on getting any more, but I just picked this up because it was kind of the right place at the right time. Hello, Tornado Siren Roebuck. So yeah, I definitely think it's cool. I do like the sirens, but typically they're very expensive and just more money than I'd prefer to put into something like that. Hello, Mississippi Tornado Sirens more. Hello, Spanish Fried Eggs. And actually, sirens, I believe, were my first real interest, starting probably maybe 7 or 8 years ago. But I never really got too far with it. If you do remember, I did make the Connect sirens a few years ago, but I haven't done any in a few years now. So yeah, this is the first siren thing on this channel in a very long time. I've not tested this yet, but I've had it apart. It was real rough when I got it. The bearings were squeaking, actually. It would barely turn and the bearings were squeaking. I got it freed up now. I wish I had a better light to put on this, but I don't. If I had a little thing, let's try this. Maybe if I had a light over here, I don't think it's gonna work very well, but I can try. Hey, there's a bit of a light, so you can see I'm at least able to turn that, and it's relatively free. I don't know what happened with the paint on this. Clearly, it's been through quite a bit, and I find it funny that whatever sort of surface they put on here, this completely just deteriorated, yet the original finish here is in relatively good condition, at least in comparison. This, wherever, it's all bubbled up, and I'm guessing that's because of the rust, but it really doesn't look that nice. So this would be nice for a restore, but not right now. Any new Cobras? My only new Cobra that I got was last weekend, and it's this M250. So this one, I haven't decided whether I'm going to do a video on this one or not, because I've already done a bunch of videos on these, but this one is a little bit different than the other ones that I've recorded, so I don't know. It depends. But the reason that this fixture is special is, one, it's 1970s M250 R1, so it's a relatively early one, and the glass in here is Lime Materials glass, which matches the fixture that was mounted relatively right outside our house, actually, is a M250 R1 with a Lime Material glass in it, so this is pretty much identical, and it's 100 watts sodium. So not mercury vapor, but that's also the same. You can tell this was like mounted on a, I'm guessing it was on a pole at some point. No idea where it was used. I just got this actually at an antique store, so all it really said was old siren, and yeah, no real information, unfortunately, regarding this item. But I think it's fine. Yes. Yeah, and I do like these. I think even these little ones are pretty neat, and they, at least compared to anything else that I've had. Like there's the little China sirens, as cool as those are, they're just junk, quality-wise. So that's off-center. There we go, fixed it. I had some actual, had a 189 watt bulb for this, and it's completely lost. I know I still have it somewhere, but I unfortunately cannot find it right now. But that was a real streetlight bulb for multiple series circuits, so, or multiple circuits, which is not really what this is. This is not what this is designed for, but a lot of these were converted at some point to operate multiple. I may be planning on doing a video just on series street lighting. I think that would be kind of interesting. I don't know if there's really any videos out there. I know there's a couple forums where you can read about that, but I think it would be pretty cool to do a video on that, talking through it, at least everything that I know. You know what? I can go ahead and turn this on, this M250, if you want. I'm not turning on the siren, that's not gonna happen, but I can at least turn this on. Try to get a decent shot here. Adjust my tripod. Unfortunately, I only have one tripod right now, and it's about a foot tall, but so I need to find one that's better. I just don't have anything that's, I don't know if I can find something that's compatible with my phone. I need something that can hold a phone, and I don't really want to pay a ton of money, so I've been looking at the thrift stores, but haven't seen anything yet, but it's not really a big deal. So with that said, let's go ahead and I'll plug this in. It's running in, has the original ballast and everything inside, and it has the bulb that it came with, which still works. So I'll plug it in here. 3, 2, 1. Try to do our lights too. This bulb does have quite a few hours on it, but it still has a good amount of life left in it, and I doubt I'll ever burn it out because I use these things very infrequently. I doubt that I'll probably be running this very much at all. It's 100, the most common wattage for these little guys, but it's a nice round number. I think it's a good wattage for these. It's not too, I mean, it's very bright, but it's not as overwhelmingly bright. I like to find some lower wattage sodium lights, but again, I'm just kind of keep looking because I don't want to spend a ton of money on something like that, because on the eBay and stuff like that, these fixtures get listed for an exorbitant amounts of price, and that just makes no sense to me. I've tried to get all my fixtures as cheaply as possible, and actually this one I got from a fellow collector. It was actually very nice of him. It was completely free, so I'm very glad though that I was able to get this, because it does match exactly, as far as I can tell, the street light that's outside of our house, which I've been looking at for about as long as I've been interested in street lighting. Of the M250, I've only got one, and it's that R. That Lion Materials glass is very nice. I'd like to find a Mercury version, but haven't had any luck yet. Actually, there were 3 of them mounted pretty close, but 2 of them have gotten replaced with LEDs, and then there's one left, but it's very dim. It might even be running on the original bulb. Alright, I'll go ahead and unplug it here. Yes, we as well had a ton of the M250R1s. One most common small wattage fixture over here, although a lot of them have been replaced by American Electric 115s and 100 watt sodium, so they were at one point about the most common fixture here, but now they've mostly gone to either LED or the 115s. Oh, we have a bit of an update. Unfortunately, I don't remember if I did a video on it or not, but I did post on the lighting gallery a long time ago. I had a bunch of OV50s. Unfortunately, just recently, a couple weeks ago, they all got replaced with LED fixtures, and I saw those. Was going by that parking lot at night and realized that all the fixtures were on, which was odd, and they were all LED. So, unfortunately, all the OV50s are gone. Don't know who did it or exactly when. Just kind of went by it one day and they were all gone. Yeah, I do think that 115s are better than the LEDs, but I also think that they're probably the least interesting of the sodium fixtures. I would like to be able to find a second power bracket. My chances are pretty low of that happening, but I'd like to do. I have a pole with two of them on opposing sides. I think that looks really nice. There's an installation somewhere, I don't remember where, they had a bunch of the smaller power brackets that are mounted two on a pole, and it looks really nice. Yeah. I mean, they're not that rare yet. I think as far as the 1,000-watt fixtures go, they're still relatively common, but they're definitely dwindling, and very few people understand how cool they are, if they're even worth anything. I think that they probably wouldn't be scrapping them if they thought they were worth anything or wanted to take the time to do that, but generally it's just easier and faster to scrap them and make a little bit of money off of them as opposed to getting the entire value and having to wait a little while. And of course there's the issue of shipping, so you could really only sell stuff locally, because when you want to go ship stuff, the prices are just astronomical. I suppose you could power up the power bracket. I'm sure you would like to see that. I haven't tested this since the video, so it's been almost a week. I love these giant UFO refractors. That seems like a good thing to do. Here's the power bracket. Gotta switch my tripod, not like that. And what's really fun is when they mount these on these refractors on the NEMA heads. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and plug this in. 3, 2, 1. I'd like to see one of these big power bracket refractors on like something like a Cooper Caretaker. you know, put the camera up next to the ballast. It's an LED fixture that has the ability to accept a standard NEMA lens. I don't know if you'll be able to tell it on the camera. This thing's really bad. This thing flickers like crazy. Well, now that we're getting up, when you get up here towards full brightness, the flickering does die down, but it's still there. And when it's warming up, the flicker is extremely noticeable. There's an old Sylvania. 150 watt incandescent lamp. Use that in the radio wave from time to time. Now it's very bright. I'd say that's about full brightness. There it is in all of its glory. It's a very unique fixture, and it looks really nice. You can start to see that banding now on the video. Nice, but unplug this now. Watch it. So there's that. That's the power bracket. So there's a couple things, but really I just wanted to show off this siren here. I have to test it eventually here, but I just need to be careful because it's very loud. Of course they're intended to be, but I don't know how far you could hear these, but probably at least maybe on a good day, probably close to a half mile away, so just want to be careful. Here's my streetlight wall. And actually, here's something kind of interesting. I've got two fixtures here stacked up. I've got the modern radial wave and the vintage one. And notice the difference in the pattern, how much more wavy the old one is opposed to the newer one, which is on the bottom. Really like my radial waves. I think they're about my favorite. There's a particular fixture I'd really like to find for my collection. However, my chances of obtaining one, I think, are very slim. There's one right now, like on Etsy or something, and they're asking something crazy like $1,500 for it. A Wheeler Boston, I believe. A radial wave, but it's a double walled radial wave. It's a little bit different. It has the radial wave on the bottom, which is molded, and it has a top cover over the radial wave, which is blue porcelain, and those are very rare to find. I only know of probably a couple of them out there, and the ones that are out there are generally in really bad condition. I do have at least this one. This one's really nice, but it's not nearly as old. This one I expect dates from probably the late 1930s, probably maybe into the 40s, although I'll just say 1930s because that's cooler. But those Wheelers, those date to right around 1910. Let's test this out with the vintage style bulb. So that's a little bit more accurate as far as the bulb type it should have. But it's not bright at all. Very cool. So yeah, I plan on making a video on series street lighting, demonstrating street light this stuff and how to wire it up, because you have to be very careful with these fixtures. Well, if you guys don't understand them, I'll just quickly explain it. These fixtures are wired in series, just like your incandescent or maybe even LED fairy lights or Christmas lights, whatever you want to call them. Where no, I do not have a backyard display, but I do have my indoor display pole, which currently has nothing on it. I like to put the radio wave up there, but I've been delaying. Anyway, if you have the incandescent little tiny ones, I'm not talking about the C7s or the C9s, little tiny lights. If you take one bulb out of the out of the series, all the bulbs will turn off because each bulb is a part of the circuit. So when one burns out, the circuit breaks, and that's an issue. Same thing with these are all wired in series. So you have one wire that goes in this way, goes through the bulb, and then it goes out, goes to the next fixture and goes through that one, and all the way through down the line. And the reason they do that is because it's more efficient. I believe incandescent bulbs run better at lower voltages, so that was just an easier way, and also used less wire. But these fixtures are intended to burn out, or to short out, so if the bulb burnt out, the fixture will short out so that it will still conduct electricity even if it's not producing light, so that the whole row, you could have 60, 100, or maybe over 100 streetlights on a single circuit, and if one bulb blew out and the whole 100 plus streetlights burnt out, that wouldn't be very good. So these fixtures used the special disc that would blow, and this one, I don't know if I'll be able to pull it out, but this socket, if you've seen the video, the socket pulls out. There's a little thing that can go in there, and right now I've got a piece of plastic in there because I don't want it to short out. That would trip the breaker. Have to go fix that in best. So these were very interesting and kind of tricky to wire up, as opposed to something like this, which is for multiple circuits, not series, and all it is just a regular light socket. And this would run on 120 volts or whatever voltage that your bulb is at. It doesn't really matter because it's just a socket. So that's my quick little live stream. Ah, yes. This is not a Cree LED, though. And regarding that outdoor display, I do not have one right now. I don't think I'm going to have one for a very long time, if I even ever do one. But if I do one, I plan on doing something with one of those radial waves on a nice bracket, or maybe like a bishop's crook type pole. I think that would look very nice. And yes, this socket reducer came with this fixture. So that's about all I have to say right now. If anyone has any other last questions, ask them now, but it's getting late. So I'm just about to turn off the live stream. I'm gonna go put my power bracket back because it takes up a lot of space. Oh, that's good. I need I should maybe convert one of my fixtures to try doing some mercury vapor conversions, but I don't know. As much as like mercury vapor, I also like to leave stuff original, so. I don't know. But what I do know is that this is a radio wave. It's very nice, and I'll probably do a video on it relatively soon. All right. Thanks to everyone for stopping by. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.